Hi! Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a first impressions of a foundation. This is my first impressions on this channel, so I'm really excited for that. And I will be reviewing today the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation. So I have a couple of shades. I've matched myself to tan. I've also got honey, which is a little bit too orange. Because this is a first impression, I am going to prime half of my face. Now I do have quite large pores in my T-zone, so today I'll be using the Too Faced Primed and Poreless on half of my face. So I am just taking a pea-sized amount. This is going to be really hard for me to just put this on half my face. Okay, so that is half my face primed. Now let's get into the foundation. So this is the foundation with the lid off. It's just a little bullet. You do get, okay, so you get 0.9 grams, which means nothing because in America they all work in ounces, so it's half an ounce. So generally speaking, liquid foundations will be 1 fluid ounce. All the stick foundations I've experienced have been half an ounce. So it just depends what the company's decided to go with. Okay, so I think I'm going to start off just by putting a couple of stripes on the unprimed side. Now I know it looks really orange. I have quite an orange chest. I was really sunburnt lately, so my arms, as you can see, well, you can't really see that on the front. They're like way darker, so I will be matching my arms to my body, not my neck, because that hasn't seen the light of day. And let's blend. So one thing I'm noticing pretty much immediately is that it's really stiff and quite hard to blend. Something like your Hourglass foundation is nice and fluid, creamy, nice and easy to blend. This one, not so much. Okay, so that's the foundation all blended out. I am just going to come nice and close so you can have a good look. First thing I would say is it's probably a medium coverage. As you can see on my nose, there's a really clear red line where the product hasn't sort of grabbed to my skin and attached, so we don't have any coverage there. And also sort of in my eyes, they're still really sunken and dark. So the product isn't full coverage in that it'll cover up any marks that you do have. It is, I would say, a medium to buildable coverage. I'm sure I could build it a little bit more if I wanted to. So up close, I would say it's not as flattering as some other foundations that I do have, but it does certainly get the job done. So I am going to put some concealer on and finish my face, and then I'll check back in with you. For concealer today, I'll be using the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer in the shade Fair. So I'm just going to come in up close one last time for you and show you what's going on with my skin. So as you can see, I still do have the redness down my nose. So as you can see, it's quite patchy. I hadn't noticed that patch before, so that's really interesting that I've just seen that. And there's another one up there. I overall would say, after looking up close, I'm not the biggest fan of the foundation. I've never really had a foundation go that patchy on me, so I'm quite intrigued to see. I'm going to try and blend it out, but that's very strange to me. It's currently 10:13 a.m. I'm going to check back in with you in about probably a couple of hours once I've done the rest of my makeup, and we'll have a look at how the foundation's going. See you then. Hi guys, so my makeup is now done. It is 11:24 a.m. When this focuses, 11:24, can you see that? Well, it's 11:24, and so the foundation's been on for just over an hour. I feel like it's looking better. I think it's settled into my skin a lot nicer than it was looking before. Potentially that is the other products that I've put on the top, but I will just zoom you in so you can have a closer look. So as we can still see, my nose is providing us with a lot of issues. It's got to do with the concealer that I used and the fact that the foundation didn't do so well there. On my actual nose, it's looking pretty nice. Oh, My foundation doesn't normally do that. So that's the unprimed side over here that's got that creasing, whereas this side, which is the primed side, doesn't have it. So that's something to take into account. Still a bit patchy, but I mean, that was there before. Doesn't look any better or any worse. Up here, that patching is a bit better. So I would say all in all, it is looking better than when I first applied it. So yeah, this is my little check-in. Don't love it, don't hate it. Still going strong. I did just notice a little bit of melting on the unprimed side around my nose. Hey guys, so I am back. It is currently 2:36 p.m. Anyone? Time? Anyone home? 2:36 p.m. So I have changed outfits, as you might see. As you can see, my shoulders now match my face, which is why I have to go so much darker. Foundation wise, I don't really have that much to report. I have been enjoying my makeup today. There's nothing I really hate about it. Let's get a mirror and have a little close look. I personally am noticing that the primed side looks a lot better in my opinion. So as you can see on this side, which is the primed side, it's just a lot nicer. I have got a little bit of transfer down here, but that's pretty common for me anyway. But I just think that looks really nice. And then you go over here and it's like, ooh, not so nice. I think this looks a lot redder and I've got a little bit more redness poking through on my cheeks. So, I mean, it is just personal preference. I wear a primer every day anyway, so it's not really a big deal for me to be putting a primer on. And that is something I would normally do. So, I'll just zoom you in so you can have a look. I mean, it's not bad. Got some marks in my frown lines up here. I mean, that's pretty common for me anyway, to have frown line marks. And as you can see, they're just as bad on both the primed and unprimed side. Okay, so with all that in mind, that is the end of this checkup. I will pop back in at about 5 p.m. I think, just before we're getting ready for dinner, and then I'll do one more check-in before I go to bed. It is 5:28. I'm certainly starting to notice my natural oils creeping in. So I'll zoom you in and we can have a look. Sorry about the lighting as well. It's getting dark and I haven't set up my lights yet, so I'm hoping I can get to the last check-in and then set up my lights. So, having a look at my skin, as you can see, under my eyes are quite sunken in. This is the non-primed side. I never realized it, but it's significantly darker. So I don't know whether that's got to do with the primer or not. Again, my nose is still a trouble area. As you can see, my face is significantly oilier on the non-primed side. You can see it particularly on my forehead, that straight line just there. So I have normal skin. It can tend a little bit oily. I haven't touched it up at all. I would still happily go, I mean, I probably wouldn't go out like this, but I would go to dinner like this. That's nothing horrible. I would check back in for the last checkup before I take off my makeup. And at that point, we will go through a blot test and see what the oil is looking like on my face. This is how I'm looking at the end of the day. This is the look I like to call oily mess. So it is currently 9:40. It's very oily. You can tell I haven't touched it at all. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about this foundation. I think I'll continue to use it. I don't hate it. I'm not a huge powderer or like during the day touch-up kind of person. So foundations that require me to touch them up throughout the day are not normally foundations that I love, if I'm honest. I will zoom you in so you can look at my oily, you know, fry a potato face in all its glory. It's just so oily. Like, can we just, yeah, just oil central right there. On my nose. Oh, yep, oily and separated. On this side, oily and separated. So I don't like it on my nose. I'm gonna do what Crystal does and get a tissue and just blot my primed side of my face. So I think immediately this side looks way better. So I do think with a little touch up you could absolutely make this work. It is fading off under here. It's just not my pick. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments. Overall, I would say give it a try if you're after a new stick foundation and you don't mind taking your time blending out. But you do just need to be prepared that you will need to touch it up because messy and oily. So that is all I have to report on this. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your favorite long wear foundation in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!